Kamate, kamate, kaura, kaura. Kamate, kamate, kaura, kaura.
Alex Moisii.
I've lived more lives than the average person. I moved a lot, nearly died a number of times. I've done bad stuff, good stuff, battled addictions. I've experienced life in its raw form.
We have to experience this life, all the good, all the bad. How do I do that? Does that correlate to what we mentioned earlier of trusting that intuition?
The system has been created for you to be scared. And for as long as you live in that fear, if you had more certainty in yourself, then you wouldn't have to worry about that, would you?
What have been the biggest challenges with building a business, with building a brand with someone you love?
We got evicted at one point. You know, like literally, like she was pregnant, and all our money was going on bills for the business. They weren't sales, they weren't coming through. They were coming like 3 months later, and we're like, there's a choice. We pay the rent, or we pay the business. We trust each other, and because we trust each other, we can overcome challenges very quickly. It's like we show up for each other when one is low, the other one's high.
When your kids grow up, what is the one thing you'd want them to take away from their father's story?
Literally, I've got...
If I could have one moment of your time. Most of you guys listening or watching do not subscribe to the channel. The simple and easiest way to help and support us is to subscribe. It helps us get the guests that you guys want, and it gives us a more opportunity to grow this thing to where we want to take it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the episode. Kia ora.
Alex Moisii. Welcome to the Martin Show, brother.
I think when it comes to podcasts, I think podcasts start a bit like, like we need to kind of get into it, right?
Okay.
I watched you the other day teach the hacker to a group of kids. So I'm like, let's fucking do this now.
So how much do you know? Do you know anything?
Nothing, brother, but I've got energy. I've got a voice.
All right, so we'll start from the start.
Right.
So we're going to go, kamate, kamate.
Kamate, kamate.
Kaura, kaura.
Kaura, kaura.
We'll just go to there. So we got kamate, kamate, kaura, kaura.
Kamate, kamate, kaura, kaura.
Good. And
Kamate, kamate, kaura, kaura. Kamate, kamate, kaura, kaura. Tangate, kauru. Like, I haven't finished the whole mantra, but I'm like, I want to fight, man. I've got a sparring kit. Shit.
Bro, it's powerful the way.
It's very, very powerful. I love it.
Yeah.
Like I always say, I'm glad that I got the opportunity to kind of like see you do it.
Yeah,
but
bro.
obviously I want to see it to do it. So I think, yeah, we're going to need more sessions on that,
Yeah,
man.
brother.
So
Yeah,
look, I'm
cuz.
sweating. Sometimes it's nerve-wracking, you know, to do something that me and you just did there. Like, just do front. I'm like, fucking come on. And I'm like, but that's how you need to get that out of people, you know, just get people involved, man. And it's like, if you can create a community like that, you know, and allow people to generate that mana for themselves, generate that energy, they'll see that their day goes completely differently, you know, because you can't be fucking depressed when you do that. You're like, fuck, like you turn from a beggar into a commander, like that. Your day starts from please into thank you. You know, your prayer starts with thank you instead of please.
Wow.
I don't want to go too deep into this, but the moment you understand that you are actually here to command the fucking universe what to do for you, then your life changes. You know, because like God doesn't like, if you are a direct reflection of God, right, and you're created in His image, God's not a beggar. The universe is not a beggar. So you can bend the reality, right? You can bend reality to your own fucking wants.
Wow.
If you command it,
Yeah.
not if you beg it. So if you're fucking like, you start the day with a haka, right? You're like now in a warrior spirit. You're like now, like, let's go, like commanding. I'm like, everything changes. Your reality changes accordingly to how you're feeling. If you start the day like, fuck, I can't pay my fucking bills. I've got a date tonight. I can't take this bird out. I got no money in my bank. Please let this money come from fuck knows where. Oh, bro, like that date, I'm going to guarantee that bird won't show up anyway. You're going to borrow the money. The bird won't show up. Your day's going to go to shit. You're going to end up buying gear. you're gonna end up standing up all night on fucking the whole. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the reality you choose to live into. But if you start the day and you raise that fucking frequency, you grab it by the balls, you be like, no, I'm taking this bird out. Then I'm gonna take a hit. So you take control of your reality. You command the reality. Everything shifts accordingly, right?
Alex, what do we need to know about you, brother? About your early life to understand more of who you are today?
I've done a number of podcasts and I've been over this a few times. I've lived more lives than the average person in one life. Does that make sense? Like the average person, I would say, would just have a normal life. You know, they grow up, they go to school, they go get a job, they fucking have kids, dog, whatever, done. I moved a lot, you know, I've emigrated, I've nearly died a number of times. I've done bad stuff, good stuff, battled addictions. I've quit instantly, no therapy. So I think I've experienced more in a lifetime than what the average person will, you know. And I don't think for a long time I was asking myself like, why am I experiencing all of this? You know, like where's the good shit in my life? You know, like I was married, like so many things. You know, I've got 4 kids, different locations. Oh man, and I'm not going to go into every single one, but I think for a half, like not half, but up to like 30 years of my life, I've experienced life in its raw form. The bad shit, to put it into perspective, right? All the bad stuff. And I think for a long time, I was asking myself, why am I going through all of this? You know, I say like everyone else, like, why am I going through this? Why am I going through that? I was kicked out by 16, you know, and so many other things. And it's only recently that I've learned that sometimes you have to experience, like there's certain people, everyone comes to this planet with different purposes, right? And different missions and whatever. And when your mission is over, you pass away. You know, maybe you teach someone something in the process. Maybe you've just accomplished what you needed to accomplish. Maybe you've, I don't know, created a school that's going to, whatever. And all he did, that life, all those different experiences within that short, those 30 years, they've basically prepared me for this next stage of my life, right? I've had to experience all the bad stuff in order to now experience the good stuff because my life now is the complete opposite of what it was before in every aspect: financial, love, fitness, health. You know, so I'm a completely, if it feels like that is such a distant fucking life away. It feels like I've been reincarnated and now I'm living a different life. Does that make sense? It's the complete opposite in every aspect, right? Mentally, physically, spiritually, it feels so distant. Like I look back and I'm like, fucking hell, they actually do that. Like it was a long time ago. And I'm now, right now, the way my life is, last week feels like a very long time ago because I change so quickly and I shift so quickly with things. Like every day, I feel like I'm learning something. And because I know how to deal with it, if something bad happens, instantly I'm like, okay, why is that happening to me? How far do I need to go back into my fucking timeline to understand why I feel and why that's making me feel bad? So this is why now I'm able to adapt quicker. But because I've experienced the raw life, right? I've experienced the bad people, the good people. I've walked in those shoes for a long period of my life. I can now adapt. I can now speak to every type of person, right? Bad person, a gangster, fucking businessman, whatever. I can adapt to every single one, right? And I can adapt to different challenges. I can adapt to different situations because I've done the worst shit, you know? So now I'm living the good shit. Like I'm enjoying it. So when the challenges come up, there's always new challenges, but I know how to. They can't get any fucking worse. You get what I mean? Because I've done the only worst thing that I could get. And I was like, done, but done. You know. But I've got a lot of knowledge, maybe more than what someone my age should have. You know, and I can pass this. I can pass this information, but at the same time, I've got a lot more to do. You know, I found out recently I'm a life path number 33. right? Which is very, I don't know if you know anything about this, numerology. Like, bro, I told you, I find everything fascinating. I think it's fucking wild. I'm like, like, just look into everything. Do you know what I mean? Anything that resonates with you, look into it. And life path 33 is very rare. It's the one number, is Jesus's number, basically. So it's basically you put your date of birth together, and your name, and it gives you your life path number. And life path number 33 is fucking mastery through experience. How fucking wild is that?
Wow.
And I've only found this out. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, so now we all fucking starts blending in. And I'm like, this is wild. I'm like, is this why that? This is why that. This is why that. This is why that. So now, like, I've experienced that. I know how to deal with that. Okay, cool. And maybe what Zara says to me, my partner, is like, what you need to understand is the way she sees it, right? Okay, and maybe we're fucking nuts. I don't know, but I understand it. The way she sees it, she reckons that because obviously our chance to come to this planet to experience human form, right? Our souls want this for us. It's like, I get to experience human form, right? So before we come here, we choose what we want to experience, which I think is quite like when you start putting things together and start looking into things and start being fascinated and remaining curious as you were as a child and start looking into different religions, into different aspects of life, it starts making sense. You're like, bro, it's like, yeah, we come here to experience, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly. And it's hard to understand sometimes, but you've chosen this. And then you look like, well, what about the guys in the war? It's very fucking hard to say. But what if their soul has chosen to experience that in the life form now because they've done something in a previous timeline? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like it can be very deep. I guess that the people that don't wanna, that are not fascinated by other things outside the fucking job and the government, they're not going to want to look into how things could work further, and they're going to say, well, you're nuts. But what if, what if you've already made a choice, a conscious choice of what you want to experience in this lifetime, you know? Because if everyone came here and got to experience being a billionaire, it'll be wild. What are you going to do here? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I think the quicker you understand that you've made a choice to experience life, you need to start experiencing it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because if you don't experience it, then you're going to be stuck working a job. Because, like, I read the funny post the other day, and it's coming back to the point that I'm making. The world, gods, creators, 7.8 billion gods are controlled by a handful of fucking pedophiles.
Wow.
Right, think about it. And I was sitting there, I was like, whoa, and I was like, that is so true. Because if we have come to this planet, right, let's just say I'm fucking nuts, right? Let's just say for a minute, right? Like, let's just say I'm nuts, all right? And everyone else is fucking normal. And I'm nuts. But let's say we did come to this planet to experience life, right? And experience the human form. Is this what your fucking experience is? Waking up, being stressed, going to work, fucking moaning at your manager, coming home, having a drink, or doing drugs. But doing drugs is an experience in itself. If it doesn't kill you, you can experience. I've experienced that. I had some amazing times. Don't get me wrong, but I was able to cut it like that. That was the end of my experience. But what I'm saying to you is, if you have come, let's just say for the sake of it, if you have come here to experience life, is this what you call an experience? By just living to go out on Saturday, like saving a few $1,000s or whatever to go on a holiday once a year? Is this the experience you would like to have? But I'm nuts. I'm fucking nuts, right? We're nuts because we're looking outside of the box and we remain curious. Because my life changed when I surrendered to my curiosity, when I've surrendered to Zara's intuition, And I was like, this girl's nuts. I was like, fucking love it. I didn't want to leave the UK because to me, UK was home. My boys, my family. I went, fucking, I haven't seen any of them anymore. Wow. But like the moment I surrendered to her intuition and my curiosity, my life has changed. Our brokerage got built in Ireland, Marbella, UK. I now live in fucking Bali. Bro, in 1 year, yeah, like, listen, it was 1 year. It hasn't been, I haven't done this for 5 years. In 1 year, everything has shifted. The moment I gave into that and I thought, let's live life through someone else's fucking lenses. Let's actually experience what I came here to experience. And the moment I moved and I went, well, you said at the start, the moment I went into the unknown, that's when it was like, oh, like amazing people. I met you, fucking Zach, and we're like, we like connected instantly in the fucking changing rooms. You can't do this if you just stand in your hometown because no prophet prospers in the hometown. Jesus wouldn't have been Jesus if he stayed in fucking Nazareth. No one would have known him. You know, not like experience. We've come here to experience, so fucking experience it. Do stupid shit, you know? Do it. Do it.
We have to experience this life, all the good, all the bad.
The ugly, and the beautiful.
My question was going to be, if someone's listening to that and they're like, how do I do that? Does that correlate to what we mentioned earlier of trusting that intuition?
Yeah.
So it's a correlation between...
There's a DJ in Japan and he's gone viral and he's fucking wild. You know the DJ? There's a DJ in Japan.
Yuki.
Yuki
Mahoro. Bro, I'm seeing him. I'm seeing him, cuz.
And I'm like, brother, I'm like,
you know what I'm talking about.
He's fucking whack. And he's like, and he's like, the energy in there, bro. I was like,
cuz, I'm seeing him live.
That is someone that was about to die. And what he did, he listened to his inner voice. He listened to his higher self. And he was like, now or never. And he was about to die. And he went there and he stepped into his authenticity, doing what he loves, beat cancer, and now he's one of the top DJs in fucking Japan. And he's fucking, his energy, his mana is fucking like samurai energy, brother. But this is what I'm saying. So you gotta go with that. You gotta listen to that. You'd be like, you gotta like listen to it, man. Like he's trying to tell you something. That's something someone there is screaming, and you're like, even if to you now it sounds nuts, oh my God, I'm gonna lose my job. The fucking inner voice doesn't care. I'm like, get me out of it, because like you're sending me nuts. So that's like, it is your higher self. It's your higher purpose. It's trying to fucking scream at you to do something about your current situation. And you choose not to because the system has been created for you to be fucking scared. And for as long as you live in that fear, well, how am I going to pay my bills? Fuck knows, bro. If you had more certainty in yourself, then you wouldn't have to worry about that, would you? And it's always the same thing. Every time you speak to people, it's always the same bullshit. Well, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to eat? Brother, you'll eat. You will eat. Yeah, like I've never gone a day without food. And I've been homeless. I haven't gone without food. I was doing cocaine, in matter of fact. So I wasn't hungry. You know what I'm saying? But no, like this is, I've experienced that. I've experienced it, you know? But like, I was able to adapt quickly. So it wasn't for long. It was just long enough for me to experience, be like, I don't want to fucking do this. Like, I don't like this. I've experienced this. This is not for me. Give it to someone else. Double and pass it on. You know what I'm saying? No, but seriously, bro, I've experienced it. Cool. And some people experience it, but then they get stuck in it. And my biggest fear with addiction, when I quit cocaine and alcohol and smoking, do you know what my biggest fear was?
Going back?
No. That I wouldn't fucking know what to do with myself. I was like, well, what happens like if I don't sniff coke every day? What do I do then? Bro, do you know how my day is? Because it comes the same. Or if I leave my job, how am I going to pay my bills? It's the same fucking, I'm like, what the fuck? Wow. So when you actually look at it, right, this actually all makes sense. When you build a habit, the only reason you can't let go of the habit is because you're worried about what's going to happen after you let go of the habit. Right? And it's the same with everything. So all you have to say is like, I've experienced this. I don't want to do it anymore, right? I didn't go and do ayahuasca and fucking thingy or went and done therapy. And bro, I was like, you need to understand, I was on it from the age of 20, I'm 37, up until like 34, 35, I was on it. And when I started making money, it got even worse because it was affordable.
Yeah.
You know, so alcohol, cigarettes. I smoked for what? From 15, I'm 37. What's that? 22 years of my life.
Wow.
I quit smoking like that on the day. Do you know when? When Manateca came through, bro. I said, I'm done. I threw the cigarette, and for 2 months, it was fucking horrible because I kept getting the urge. And like, you need to understand, smoking for 22 years, right? First thing I wake up in the morning, after a meal, after a phone call, when something good's happening, it was like I was smoking 20, 30 cigarettes a day. And to quit that, like that instantly, because my Polynesian fucking spirit guide here came through. It's like, man, thank God, I threw the cigarette and that was it. And I haven't looked back. And now, and the same reason I didn't want to quit smoking, funny enough, is because my brain was like, well, what are you going to do when you don't have a cigarette? Because like a lot of your time is spent on having cigarettes throughout the day. What the fuck are you going to do then? Huh? What are you going to do then?
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So it's the same concept. It's like, well, if I leave the shit job that I fucking hate, how am I going to pay my bills? What am I going to do? Bro, I've had 22 jobs, and every time I've left the job, I feel so fucking free. I was like, fucking, oh, this is the best feeling ever. Oh, every time. I used to moan, bro, I used to moan in every job I had. Like, I used to moan so much. Like, because I never understood this. But the reason I was moaning so much, I was like, I just wanted things my way. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm an only child, first of all. So like we spoke about this before. Like I was very creative in the way, but I just wanted things my way, innit? Even when I was a child and I had my toys, I wanted to play with toys my way, right? And every time a kid came in and he was like, he didn't understand the mission. Do you know what I mean? He didn't, the kids didn't understand the vision, right? And when I'm in these jobs, the same thing was happening. I'm like, these guys don't understand what I need. But it wasn't because it's because of me. I was an entrepreneur. All I needed to do is the guidance to build my own business. Do you know what I mean? And that's what happened. And when I stepped into entrepreneurship, I was like, fuck, I can do this my way now. Like, this is like, so I can, do you know what I mean? And that's what kind of pushed me into entrepreneurship. So to tell you a bit about myself, that's in a shell. There's no way the life I had is this life now. It's miles away. It's like it's impossible. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like you can't say this shit like people change. No, bro. Like you don't understand. It's not me that's changed. It's everything. That my DNA has changed. My fucking the way I look at people, the way I see people. Like I choose how I see people.
Mm.
You can choose how you see people. How you like. You choose the relationship you want. You choose how your kid is going. You can choose all of this shit. Like that's how you create the reality. But again, I'm fucking nuts. You know, I'm the nuts one, bro. I'm nuts. You know, everyone else is fucking sound. You guys go back to your fucking job, go and fucking cry about your government, pay your taxes, and call me nuts.
Wow.
I've only recently found this out. I knew for a long time that on social media, you need to be a creator, not a consumer, right? And there's a big difference between people that consume, people that create. I started looking through my followers list and I was like, what the fuck am I following The Rock for? Like genuinely, like why am I following this guy? Like what the fuck? Why am I his follower? Right? As a matter of fact, why am I following anyone that's not following me back? You know, why do I need to see the content that they're sharing? Why? How does that help me? Like, oh, well, they're sharing good content, but then I'm consuming it, correct? So then I've started looking through my list. I started finding people from my hometown that I was following. And I was like, these motherfuckers, I had this page for 6 years. They never liked one of my posts. I'm like, why are you here? And I was like, do you know what I mean? What are you here? Like, you want to see me fail? Like, what? And bro, like, it doesn't matter how far you are in the world. There can be people from your hometown that are still stuck in their position, situation, whatever. And they probably hate you from miles away, you know, across the fucking water. And I'm like, block this guy, block that guy. But I think when you start giving your energy into someone else's dreams, right? And I'm not talking about having a job. I'm talking about as simple as following someone on Instagram like a celebrity. Like, what the fuck? Why? Why are you worshipping? You know, like I'm a religious person, but I believe in everything. That's the difference between me and a obsessed Christian or whatever. I believe in everything. I believe in Jesus. I believe in Islam. I believe in aliens. I believe in spiritual and fucking everything. I'm fascinated by everything. Quantum physics. Yes, absolutely. Anything that's not fucking tax or politics or like, why not? You know, it's fascinating. So, like I said, the conclusion I came to primarily is why am I following random people that They don't even know that I exist. They don't even like, why am I looking at the content? It doesn't matter, because then content can influence you, you know? You can hear the wrong thing. You can probably have a great idea about your relationship, about your marriage, you know, everything's going great. Then you watch a fucking video from, I'm not going to start saying names, but you watch a video from XXX, and all of a sudden you got a complete different view on women. And because you've just changed your ideology on women, your whole fucking relationship goes to shit, because you start, do you know what I mean? So you change the whole fucking reality of what you had. Your wife, your family life is great. You have an amazing time. You love your wife. She loves you. XXX put a video about women, and that just fucking kicked something in your head. Then all of a sudden, just because of that video, you've been influenced to completely shift the reality, and your relationship goes to shit. Just like that. Because you've consumed the wrong piece of content, correct?
Wow.
You know? And then you think like, oh, but everyone's doing motivational, but like, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, just stop consuming stuff and start creating.
Who should we be following then?
Bro, like, if you can't speak to yourself, if you don't have an inner monologue, and one of my good friends, Louis Barnett, he talks about this a few weeks ago, and he said, like, you should have an inner monologue, you should have an inner voice. That's who you should follow. That inner voice is your higher self, God, the universe, whatever the fuck you want, your spirit guide, mana, what, follow that. Trust in that. You trust that, and it should play out correctly. Wow. Trust in that, because that's you. That's your higher self. That's who you should trust into. That's who you should follow. Because if you follow XXX on Instagram, that's their higher self. It's got fuck all to do with you. So you're following what that guy is saying. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa, well, that's his experience. Right? It's not your experience, that's his experience. So you can't follow his experience, because that's going to affect your own reality. And your reality could be great, and you're going to fuck it up. Or your reality could be shit, and maybe you could get better. You never know. But again, it's I believe you need to follow your own experience. You need to trust yourself. You need to trust your higher self. And that is the inner monologue, the inner voice. There's a fun fact. 30 to 40% of people, they don't have an inner voice.
Wow.
I have fucking board meetings in here, brother. Like, literally, we all sit in a room, like, there's people, there's voices, there's like multiple fucking things. You know, I'm like, boys, like, everyone calm down, right? We need to all come together on this one. Is like, is this serious? You know, but you can imagine there's people that don't have that. And then these are the same people you could potentially end up in an argument with. And it's like, if you're having an argument with someone that doesn't have an inner voice, then you're fucking, it's a wall. It's a voice, a brick, you know. So it's not because they're not souls or whatever. It's because they're asleep. They're very like in the system. They're very systemized, you know. And I'm not talking about being woke. I'm talking about being awake, being aware, you know. And that's the difference, I think. So next time you can't get common sense out of someone, just know that there's no inner voice, because common sense and logic has to come from an inner monologue, right? Or like, if that doesn't exist with the person you're talking to, they're not having an internal conversation with themselves. So you're just there, like, just fucking wasting your energy on someone that's not listening or hearing you, you know?
Yeah, bro.
The words don't resonate.
Yeah, I think I've come to a place in my life where I'm really trying to, you mentioned the word trust. Trust that inner voice, trust that intuition of yours, trust that higher self of yours, which can to others be a little bit like woohoo. My work on is to really like trust in that, and that everything that you do will eventually be okay. You know, sometimes we can get way too caught up in those voices, like you were mentioning. Those you're listening to this guy over here who's leading the boardroom, then this guy over here who's maybe the marketing manager in the boardroom. It's like, holy shit, which one do I listen to? Sometimes it's just like,
oh, leave me alone.
Yeah. You know what I mean, eh, bro?
I think, let me ask you this, right? When you're in a voice, you have the internal monologue of yourself, right? And an idea comes up. How does that make you feel?
Excited.
Right? Beautiful. Now, let me ask you this. When you present the idea to someone and they give the fucking 2 pennies about it, how does that make you feel?
More hesitant.
Yeah.
More hesitant.
So who do you trust?
You have to trust
Yeah,
yourself.
because that makes you feel good,
Yeah.
right? If it makes you feel good, then by default, it's the right choice,
Yeah.
right?
You broke.
Because it's very, again, common sense, right? If you have a great idea and you're like, I'm gonna fucking do this, and you go to this guy, like, and we had this conversation, you had something which to you meant something, and I made you doubt it because it was my experience. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's took that away from you. And it's like, it can be very good people. I believe I'm a good person. I've got a lot of knowledge that I can share, but that's proof to you that you need to trust in what comes to you and what makes you feel good, because if it makes you feel good, obviously, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone in the process, it's done with morals, it's done with values, it doesn't hurt anyone, and it makes you feel good, then that is the voice you need to listen to. Because if you listen to someone that makes you hesitant, this is why most businesses fail. This is why most people don't start. So, yeah, trust in the inner voice. Because, yeah, it makes you feel good, man. Listen to that.
How do you see people now?
For a long time, I hated people because I hated myself. Because I was drinking all the time, going, fuck this, fuck that guy. I don't trust anyone. And it took me a while. Zara, again, old used to her. Zara loves people. Like, she just loves people. And I had this idea that I hated people, but I didn't, because I would have never hurt anyone. I was always been very loyal. So I've loved people, But what I did do a lot, I carried grudges a lot because I didn't know any better. But the grudges I carried, or like, like in traffic, or like fucking, that's what it is. I used to see people that they're very, there's a word for it, when they don't care about other people. What they call
Inconsiderate?
inconsiderate. I was like, but then I had to look like, what does that trigger me so much, right? At what point in my life was I inconsiderate? So I went back again. Guys, like, if you're listening to this, right, I'm asking you, every time something bothers you about someone else, take a fucking moment. Go to yesterday, go to a month ago, go to a year ago, go into your childhood, find out when you were inconsiderate, and forgive that part of yourself. Meet with yourself at that point in time, forgive it, forgive him, her, and come back and restart, because that can't bother you anymore, because it's forgiven. It's like, I understand. So it's not about forgiving people, it's about forgiving yourself always. It's you and you against you, not you against them. Like, I don't know what you're up to. You know what I mean? Like, we're here, we're interacting, boom, I love you, you love me, cool, sound. But like, it's me against me. I don't need to forgive you. It's me I need to forgive, because like, I'm having the problem with myself. So now the way I see people, everyone's doing their best. That's what all they know. So like, just because that person is not where I am, or doesn't think the way I do, that doesn't mean that he's not trying his best. He's just trying the best of what he knows. So I love plants, I love animals, and now I love people. I wouldn't hurt anyone. I wouldn't like, I asked myself this question the other day, and it was fucking mad. Would I give my life for a stranger? I would, bro. I actually would. Because no life is more important than mine. Do you understand that? And like, for a while, it was just like, it was my family. And I know this might, to anyone listening to this, they're like, this guy's fucking nuts. Again, maybe I fucking am, but like, I'm so fucking nuts that I actually would give my life for someone else. And I'm like, and you're wondering, like, why would you do that? I don't know. That's how I feel. Jesus lost himself in love. I've learned, I want it, like, I've been drawn to it so much, bro. Like, love is the only emotion that's infinite, that can keep going. The only fucking emotion, right? Everything else is temporary. Anger, frustration, hate, they're temporary.
Short term.
Actually, I'm wrong. Hate is also another emotion that's infinite. So you can choose which one you want to live in. You can live in love all the time, or you can live in hate. My dad chose hate, and now he's by himself somewhere on a fucking boat. That's what he said. So like, he's just isolating himself from people. I choose to live in love. And I'm going to give you some exercises to live in love if you want to. But like love is the highest frequency you can operate on. If you operate on love every single day, you're going to notice that your life is going to improve dramatically, instantly. And I know it sounds fucking nuts, but if you're full of love, people are going to receive you differently. You know, imagine walking into a room. If you're fucking, hey, fucking, like you want to instigate fear in that, people are going to be like, they're going to be like retreated. But
Repelled.
if you repelled, but if you come in with love, smiling, and you're blessing people with your presence, how are you going to be received? With love, right? So you choose which one you want to be. And it's hard because it's like, how do you live in this frequency when, I don't know if any of you have been in Bali, like when you're in the traffic, come on, brother, when you're in traffic, yeah, people like are so I won't say irresponsible, but what was the word again? I forgot.
Repelled or inconsiderate.
Inconsiderate. Yeah, people are so inconsiderate in traffic, right? Like, and to me, that was a big problem for a long time. They're so inconsiderate. Like, they got their own fucking things. I get it, but like, you got to be mindful of the person next to you and how you affect their life. Um, and again, I was like, fucking, why don't they care? But then you get the foreigners, and I'm starting becoming racist to the foreigners. I'm like, hey, fuck you, I'm like, what is it? But then I thought, like, you know what? I can't allow this to drag me back in.
Yeah.
So what I've done, right? There's techniques like how do you maintain love frequency all the time, right? And I've tried different things. I'm like, okay, you can be grateful in the morning, whatever. Like my son, if I see my little son, you haven't met him, he's got a special power, boy. Like he changes people. Like people think about him. He's so full of love. Like, and I'm like, how the fuck do I get to live like this little guy? He's just in love all the time. So what I started doing with music, I've started experimenting with music, the certain frequencies, right? And what I've realized, I was like, the one thing that makes people change is pain. It's the only thing that makes people change is pain.
Wow.
Right? So I was like, what if I listen to people that are in pain, like listening to their music because they're expressing love through that pain. So I'm like, I started listening to, I tell you who, fucking Adele, right? Adele's music came from her pain of splitting up with her partner, but there was so much love in the words, in the tone. And I started listening to these songs, and bro, like because of that, it made me almost like not feel her pain, but feel the love in her pain. And because of, bro, like I'm gone now. Like I'm not even in this room, by the way. I'm just like I'm like in a different zone. And I started listening to like all of these. They're like different styles of music, and I ended up in Polynesian, funny enough, again. And they're like the mantras that they do. Then I started listening to mantras. Then I'm like all of this, and I'm like I want to regulate the emotion of love, and I've started doing it. And by repeating that consistently every single day, I can hold the frequency a lot more than I ever could. So it takes repetition, right? It takes compassion, a lot of compassion. Even when people are horrible, it takes compassion. It takes reflection. That is probably one of the biggest ones. Like when someone's pissing you off, or like someone's making you feel horrible, reflection is one of the most important ones, because you have to look at yourself very quickly, and you have to go down in your past, and you have to find out at what point in your life were you the person you're hating right now that's in front of you. So those three things I'd say are probably the most important in order for you to try and maintain the frequency of love.
Oh, bro, I love that. And I'm similar. Mine's slightly different but music has been a massive shift for me. Starting with music at the beginning of my days. And I usually go for a 125 BPM. Well, my house music team know exactly what I mean. Like that Japanese
Brother, I love,
DJ.
oh, bro,
Oh, bro, I'll put house music on, cuz, and I'm just like, ooh, I'll go for a run maybe, or I'm working out. I'm just like, nothing can interfere with me right now. Even if someone was like, dude, you look like a twat, I'll probably look at him, give him a smile, or put kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
you're like, oh,
yeah. Or even when I'm riding past you, bro, you know?
Yeah, but like,
I'll be
you
like
see
shifting.
that.
It's early in the morning. I see you, Alex.
It's like straight.
You know what I mean?
Fucking wild.
It's right at the start of the day. I'm just like, fuck yeah, nothing can stop me. And music helps.
Music massively, but again, it's like be mindful, because it's very important who makes that music as well. Because if they're fucking having a nightmare and then they're putting music out to people, you know, that can also, you're gonna be sucking on that energy. So like experiment with it, you know, try music you haven't listened to before. But like I said, if you want to maintain it's like energy, yeah. But that can also give you like false dopamine, right? It's false energy, you know. So try and experiment with it. Try and find out how different music makes you feel, you know.
You've co-founded your business brand, your
Yeah,
real estate brand, Chris Estates,
yeah,
with your partner. You
yeah.
mentioned Zara. And what what do you wish someone told you before you even started that?
That I don't need fucking accountants. I don't need solicitors. I don't need websites. I don't need a branding team, you know. And I could have saved thousands, tens of thousands of pounds. You know, I think when you start a business, all you need to worry about is where the fucking money's coming from. You know, draw a logo yourself on Canva. You got, thankfully, we are in an era of AI now where a logo can be done on ChatGPT. You know, you can make a quick web page, you know, and just say coming soon, in process. You can use your social media to use as a shop front, you know. So whatever product you're fucking selling, use your social media. Your web page coming soon. Right, simple. Right, branding, ChatGPT. Speak to that, you know, 50 quid. Accountants, you don't need an accountant until you've made 100 grand, you know. No one needs to fucking know, you know. Get an accountant after, you know. Stop spending money unnecessarily until you start making money. It's the best advice that I didn't get.
Let's go there. Making money. Do you think that young men, should be thinking about money and how to make money as the main priority, or should they be thinking about something deeper?
No, no, because if you make money a priority, you're always going to be chasing money. What you need to make a priority is your growth, right? For a long time, I think we talked about nervous systems, all right? So let's put this into perspective. I know a lot of people. My network is extensive globally. Like I said, Ecuador, don't ask. Um, and then I know, like I'm not going to say names. It's not okay. It's not fair. But there are people that make a lot of money, and yet the nervous system is not relaxed. And what they do, the money goes out very quickly. It comes in, it goes. It comes in, it goes. So I think you need to focus more on what you love. You know, you need to focus more on being authentic, and then you need to focus on growth. Like there's. Have you ever heard like that most people that win the lottery never actually they end up broke again? It's because somehow these motherfuckers they tap into the energy of winning it, right? They want it so bad. They end up loving it. They see themselves, so they literally manifest that win, right? They create it. They tap into the higher frequency, and they get lucky. But then the problem they've got is they haven't done the inner work, and the nervous system is not relaxed enough to hold that wealth. So then they lose it. So this is where most people go wrong. I'm a prime example. I was making money, but it was fucking going. There was random shit happening. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? And my nervous system got so used to survival mode that it knew when the money came in, shit, the tiger's chasing me. I need to unload. So like the money was leaving because I was creating a reality where I'm getting it and I was fucking going again. So I had to work. I was like, how the fuck do we get to hold it? Or like, at least make it come in continuously, like consistently, so much that my nervous system is so relaxed that it doesn't have to worry about ever leaving again because there's so much of it coming in. So I had to fucking completely shift the script. And I think a lot of young men, again, instead of listening to their inner voice and what they need to do, they get influenced by XXX on Instagram and they not confident enough in themselves. So their confidence only comes by consuming someone else's content, you know? And it's a shame. So it brings you back to that. Like, if you make money your priority, bro, you're like, that's not experience, you know? That is not a life experience. That's you just locking in, chasing again, chasing. So you might as well, you're not any different from the job. You know, you're gonna get the car, you're gonna get the yacht for what? To fucking work again 24/7 because you need to keeper now. And the problem is because your vessel is not big enough to hold it, you have to consistently and constantly work in order to maintain the lifestyle you've not just created. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you see all the time. You see millionaires, again, plenty of them on social media that are like, I never stop. I wake up at 4 a.m. I don't see my kids. One kid lives there. I pay them my money. And I'm like, the fuck is that? So I'm like, so you're telling me I just got a fucking car. I got the yacht, but like, I don't get to enjoy it because now I have to work even more to hold all it. What's the fuck? What experience is that, bro? So do you see what I'm saying? It's like then these young kids are fed this information, and all it is, it's just a new system. But it's the same system. It's still the same system. But now you're actually working harder. You're still gonna have to pay taxes. As a matter of fact, it works great for these fucking guys because all right, okay, so he's not getting 40 grand a year. He's now getting fucking 2 million a year. So we're actually making more money. So for us, it's perfect. Get him to work. So one way or another, there's only one person that wins it. And it's not fucking you if you choose to experience that kind of life.
There's another correlation there, eh? Experience.
Yeah.
The journey to make money as opposed to just, I guess, making the money, right? When did your mindset shift towards money from survival, as you say, to building and then now, I guess, thriving and to be able to create and live this life?
When I focused on creation, like my love for creation, I'm like, well, we can keep creating. And they're like, it's not work anymore. I don't look at it like work anymore. Like I'm not locking in. Like I'm looking at it as creation. So I don't like when I speak to Zara, we don't say like, oh, like we got work. Like we're creating 2 hours max. No, like that 2 hours max. I don't do nothing. I don't fucking do one thing in my day that I don't love. Even though they're horrible, I go to boxing twice a day. It's fucking, bro, it's horrible. But I've learned to love it. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. I look at it the same way as I'll be going to the pub with the lads to drink. I'm like, I'm going boxing, I'm gonna fucking have it. That's the way I look at boxing. Do you know what I mean? Boom, 2 hours in. Do you know what I mean? So I've like, I'm having fun. I'm like, yo, but this is fun. That was another thing. Because when I was partying and doing drugs, and I was like, well, am I gonna have fun? I'm gonna be so boring. Bro, I find so much fun, like spending time with Zara, like walking on the beach, fun. Spending time with my son, fun. So I'm like, it's your perspective. You can do it. But I said my mindset shifted when I stopped working and just focused on creating, because you can have fun with it. If you have to work, it's not having fun. You're locked in. No, that needs to happen. So you start getting stressed, and stress happens when there's things that need to be done and haven't been done. But because you're creating and you're spending 2 hours, you're relaxed. You're like, the nervous system just feels safe. You're grounded.
I want to challenge you on that with this thought because there's a quote out there and it's like, don't
love your job. Don't give me that. Don't love your job. Don't fucking.
Nah, cuz this ain't one of those podcasts. It's like, don't follow your mentor for what he's doing now. Follow him for what he did to get there. So like the way that you live now, the 2-3 hours a day creating, was that always the case? Because maybe when you first started Crest Estates, it probably was a grind of maybe, you let me know, but follow the mentor for how he got that life, not following him for.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I've had a mentor. He taught me about real estate, and I've applied my personality to real estate, and I made it blood, right? But he taught me about real estate, and I've just put air into an idea, right? But if I followed what the mentor taught me, I wouldn't have had the life that I have now. Do you understand what I'm saying? So a mentor is good, but again, you need to only follow one mentor, and that is your higher self. It's there. If you choose to fucking listen, right, and sit with yourself and listen and ask the right questions, you will get the answers. You don't need a fucking mentor. I don't have a mentor. As a matter of fact, I enjoy my own company more than I enjoy spending time out. Like boxing for me, like 2 hours. I'll go out with Zara. A lot of people speak to us, and me and Zara are like, are we like unsociable, or we just prefer our own time? And maybe the reason for that right now is because how can I explain it? There's a stage, right, where you grow, or you are in a growth season, right? And in that stage, you're not gonna meet your friends or like your like, you know what I mean? It's like you've had your old friends and now you're in a growth stage and you're gonna meet new people, and you're gonna chat to them, but maybe they're only temporary, So it's that stage. So I don't want to force friendships with people. Like, oh, like, let's go and meet here. Like, just meet you in a fucking coffee shop, brother. Like, I'm like, we're not best friends. I don't know enough. Who the fuck I don't know anything about you. You could be anyone, You're probably on the run from fucking, I don't know where, from Colombia. I don't know. Anyways, cut a long story short. Um, I enjoy my time with myself. But I think when it comes to mentors, everyone's like, I need a mentor, I need a coach. And I'm like, bro, it's like, they might be very good at in a certain industry, or they're very good at, like, I don't know, something, right? They can pass on a lot of knowledge, but no mentor is going to be better than your inner monologue. If you can't have a honest conversation with yourself, right, and trust in that conversation, trust that the information you're getting is from a good place, a mentor can't take you that far. They can probably teach you how to do something, but it's never going to be successful if you don't trust yourself to begin with, you know? And we wanted to have mentors, right? Because there were times where our business become very challenging. There were challenging things, in our business. Like, what do I do? What do I do? And then it comes down to like, well, what about some certainty in yourself to start with? What about some certainty, right? Rather than, and I was speaking to someone and we had the conversation. I'm a massive believer, right? And I'll tell you a quick story, actually. We can go on this podcast for 24 hours straight. I'm like, I'll do a Marco Corolla on you, bro. I'll do a 24-hour set. I'm a firm believer that things are going to happen. Like, they're out of your control. They're going to happen as they need to happen. You're going to get tested, right? You're going to keep getting tested. And if you don't deal with that test, you're going to get it again and again and again. And you're going to keep getting it until you learn how to deal with it correctly.
Wow.
And I've learned this, like, I fell down. It was like a couple of months ago. And like I said, it was this year, probably at the start of the year. And it's very challenging, man. I was like, fuck, like, what's going on? Like, there's money coming in the business, but that hasn't happened. That hasn't happened. The money wasn't coming in quick enough and the bills were fucking mounting up. And I was like, oh, like, it puts a bit of pressure on you. And I was like, I need a mentor. I need someone to, like, help me fucking go through this. And I started speaking to this guy. And it all sounded great. He said what I needed to hear. And I'm like, but I already know that. But like, what the fuck? Like, I don't need therapy, brother. Like, I need, I need a solution to the problem. And it sounded all good, right? But then I stepped away from the call. And I'm a massive believer that everything happens. It will happen. If it has to happen, like, it will happen. Like, if I need to do something, I will pay the money there and then, right? If it feels good, like, no thinking, my inner voice will be like, do it, fucking do it. But like, my inner voice wasn't saying anything. I was like, okay. I'm like, hello? Anyone there? Like, where the fuck's everyone gone? I need you. Everyone's fucked off. And I'm sitting on the beach. And I'm listening to music. And I'm like, fucking brother. Like, anyone. I need, cuz, I need a sign. I'm like, hello? Anything, right? And I'm playing with it, like, picked up, like, the beach. You've been to the beach, it says,
yeah.
there's no shells on fucking beaches.
No.
It's just sand, right? And I picked up these two, like, fucking stones. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, like, playing. I was like, I need the sign. And I'm looking at these, right? And I've got them at home. And they're like two shells, but like in the shell, there's like a spiral, like the same way you see on the wood, right? And the spiral of life, you can see in everything,
Yeah,
everything,
yeah, cuz.
right? Because that's the vibration. And I'm fucking looking at these shells, and I like it's had like the little spiral in both of them, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, just fucking give me a sign, man, because I'm like, I feel like just getting in the water and swimming until I can't swim anymore, and I'm sitting there. And I'm like, anything, bro. Like, just, I'm looking for shit at this point. I'm like, oh, is that a sign? See a fucking dove. That's a sign, isn't it? No, it can't be a sign, bro. I'm looking, have you ever been in that position, bro?
Cuz heaps.
Brother.
Even recently.
And your mind is playing tricks and that. And I'm like, yo, guys, oh, that could be a sign. No, that's not. That's it. Man. Like, you might start playing tricks and that. I'm like the wave and that. And I'm like, oh, is that a sign? And like, no. And as I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at these shells and I'm playing with them in my hand, and I'm starting to get like depressed at this point. I'm like, the music that's playing there, I'm like,
Adele.
it's like, no, it wasn't even Adele anymore. I don't even know what it was, bro. But like, started getting deep, and I'm like, please, bro, like anything. And then I'm looking at these shells, and they had the spiral of life, and I'm like, huh, motherfucker, it was already in front of me. The spiral of life means that it's a cycle, and it goes like that, it's going like that, right? So it's like you are on the spiral of life. You're gonna keep going around these circles all the time. You're gonna end up where you've started always, because that's what the spiral of life. But what it means is that you are exactly where you need to be. So you need to trust in that. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, bro, I'm like, this is not bad. I'm like, this is exactly where I need to be. And the moment you look at that, you need to understand that everything that happens to you is actually for your benefit. So if it happens for your benefit, what the fuck do you care? Why are you stressed? The moment you can switch the idea behind that your situation from your perspective might seem bad, and switch it to this is happening for my own benefit, you don't fucking care. You're like, oh, that's sound. I'm gonna go on my life. So it was there. Like I was literally looking at it, and I'm looking for fucking mountains moving. I'm like, fucking, oh, like the volcano needs to erupt or something. I need to see something big to know that it's from you, like, because that's what we do. We all, I'm like, bro, it needs to be from you. Like, I need to see miracles. Yeah, like fucking fire in the water, something.
Yeah,
Split the sea.
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, I want to split it from here to Uluwatu. I don't want. Do you know what I mean? But like, and he was just there, and I was like, and then my voice came back. He's like, yes, good. It's like, you're good. And boom, like straight away, my frequency increased. And bro, like, you don't understand when you can come to terms and surrender to,
The cycle of life.
surrender to the cycle of life, surrender to that resistance, right? Because persistence is resistance. When you keep trying something, you keep pushing against something, it's just resistance. You're pushing against it, you're not flowing with it. So the moment you surrender to that, everything, because you need everything, bro. Everything can happen instantly. We are systemized to believe that it doesn't happen instantly. Like it doesn't grow on trees. It does. I can give you so many examples where there was no money coming in for bills or whatever, but then the moment the frequency changed, money, just a deal happened randomly, or this guy paid the reservation fee, or that guy, and you can have 20 grand, 30 grand like that within 24 hours because you change the frequency. And I know people are going to say that this guy's nuts. I'm nuts, bro. You go back to work. Yeah, you go and do your job, work for 3 grand a month, pay for you do what you, and I'm nuts. You're good. But what I'm saying is it happens, and it's happened so many times. And it's like, I'm not the only one telling you this. There's thousands, millions of people telling you that, but it works. So it's like, you need to make a decision. Do you give in to the situation? And you're like, oh, you start getting desperate, you start operating from lack, from fear. And that's when a lot of shit can happen. There's been multiple situations, especially in my past life, where I was seeing that it got to points when I was like, bro, like, I'm gonna have to rub a shop. And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna have to, I owe this guy money, I owe that money. I'm gonna, like, you don't know what else to do. Do you know what I mean? But one thing I know is, like, doesn't matter how bad it got, I've always overcome it. Every single fucking time, you know, every single time. Through prayer, prayer works a lot. Like, when you sit there, you're like, bro, like, listen, like, it's like, if I'm meant, like, this is how, like, this for anyone here, this is how my prayer starts when I'm in a really bad position. God, Father, if I'm meant for higher purpose, if you really fucking need me for something higher, right? If you need me to really do something, you're going to pull me out of the situation. If you don't, then finish me off, bro. Strike me. Like, do whatever you're doing in it. But I was like, if you need me for a higher purpose, you show me right now that I can overcome this. And I overcome it every single time. Which tells me maybe I'm destined for greatness. Maybe I'm fucking deluded. But do you know what? As long as that delusion pulls me out of difficult situations, I'm going to fucking take that delusional every single time.
You mentioned love a lot. You've mentioned Zara a lot. What have been the biggest challenges with building a business, with building a brand with someone you love?
The biggest challenges. I can't, man. It's like my relationship with Zara. Like you have to be there to see it. It's like we trust each other, and because we trust each other, we can overcome challenges very quickly. It's like we show up for each other when one is low, the other one's high. So we show up for each other. Do you get what I mean? And it's like we always talk with each other from a higher frequency. So there's been challenges where obviously again it comes down to financial situations, like especially at the start of the business where we got evicted at one point. Like literally, we like she was pregnant, and we just got fucking no. Literally, we just had Sebastian, and we were paying all our money was going on bills for the business. There weren't sales, they weren't coming through. They were coming like 3 months later, and we're like, there's a choice: we pay the rent or we pay the business. And I was like, if we pay the rent, it's gonna take us for another 2 months, and that's it. Then we got no money coming in. So I was like, let's pay the business. Your argument could be like, well, you put someone else in financial difficulty. It would have been a lot worse if we didn't pay the business because the money that was owed would have never been paid back, you know? So from that perspective, I think they were very challenging. You need to understand when someone's just had a baby as well, it's very difficult. We got an eviction notice, the agents come over, it's like, guys, like, there's nothing more we can do. I was like, no worries. And then choices had to happen. So I think when these challenges come again, this is what I said to you, you think they're happening to you, but they happen for us, that we were forced. Because if it was up to me, because I'm very dominant in that aspect, like I'm a male, I'm an alpha male, beard, oh my dick. Zara's problem at the time was that she wasn't confident. She wasn't trusting in her voice. She was allowing my energy to overcome hers. And because mine was more dominant, it was saying, no, I like England. I'm staying in England. I was making all these excuses up. Like, obviously, I've got 3 other children in England. Like, business, this. And she was like, we need to go to Ireland. And I was like, no, yeah. And that happened, bro. We were forced. The universe was like, God, whoever, we were forced. We're like, getting evicted. There's no money coming in. You have to go to Ireland. And we went to Ireland. Everything changed to a certain point. Then we were like, I didn't like the wind, the fucking wind in Ireland, lad. If you ever been there, it's like you come out of the house, your hair's all nicely done. Poof, you slap every fucking day, without a doubt. But one thing I love about Irish people, they're so positive, bro. So there's so much to learn from them. Like the wind is blowing, the weather's dead, and what you say to them, like you look at them, it's like, don't worry, it'll be better tomorrow.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is fucking genius. I'm like, this is brilliant. And there's such a positive nature to them and kind and like always happy. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. And I was miserable, and Zara was like, we'll move again. Do you know what I mean? So, but I guess we both started learning that things were happening for our own benefit. But it's hard sometimes, man. Like it's easier said than done. It's like you can sit here and people probably listening, they're like, fucking this guy, like it's easier said than done. But like I've been through it, like no, like I couldn't, I didn't have any extra money, I had to do like the diabolical shit. I had to go through the hard time. I had like, and it's been times, like I said, when we just had a baby, and as a man, your main priority is to provide, is to support. So like, I can't even begin to tell you the times when I sat on fields again praying. I was like, brother, like this is time. Like you need to split the mountain or something. It's like I need something serious. You either get me out of this, or do you know what I mean? Like so there's been those times, and obviously for a man, you got your mental health, you battling that, you this and that, and it's like, but like I said, if it wasn't for Zara to kind of balance that out, and I thought this woman's indestructible, but in hindsight, all she did, women don't, I would say they don't have the same, obviously they have the same emotions and whatever, but they don't have the mental health that men are going through. They're obviously dealing with it differently. They're a lot more stronger than us.
Wow.
A lot more stronger than us.
You think women are stronger than men?
100%. Mentally, by far. Yes, they are a lot more emotional, 100%. But mentally, they are a lot more resilient than us. Right? You think we are, but like when you look at it on the ratio, how many men give in to the mental health in comparison to women. So I'm not saying in a competition where like men are better than women. I'm saying that union of a man and woman is the ultimate, the final boss, right? Like when they say every great man has a great woman behind him, yes. Or I prefer to say every great man has a great woman at the side because they're together. But the whole purpose of that union, right, is that when someone is lacking, the other supplements, so that you work together. And because we were like, I'll be honest with you, if I was doing this alone, brother, I would have fucking, I'm telling you now. But then there was times when Zara came down, she was like, okay, I'm struggling. And I'm like, I came in, I'm like, bam, bam, bam. Like, do you know what I mean? So this is what we do for each other. And this is when challenges, they were still hard, but a lot easier to tolerate with someone at your side that stands by you, stands with you. Sorry, not by you, with you, in the face of fucking zero. And you're like, no, we're doing this. We fucking got this. So to answer your question, there were, yeah, it's a lot easier to tolerate with a partner.
You've mentioned and written online, and it spoke volumes, and it closes what you're just speaking of here. The real ones are rare. These are the ones who stay with you and show you love. They show you how to love everyone. They bring out the best in you because they refuse to let you stay stuck in who you are. They don't just stand beside you when you're winning. They stand in front of you when you're losing, reminding you that even in your weakest moments, you are still worthy. They don't just love who you are. They see who you can become, and they hold that vision for you until you're strong enough to hold it for yourself. That's the kind of love that transforms a man, not the kind that entertains him, but the kind that awakens him. And when you've got someone like that by your side, the battle's already won, because no loss can touch a man backed by that kind of love.
And that's literally what it is. This is everything that I've just discussed with you over the last 10 minutes. Because that is the truth. And Zara will tell you herself, when she first met me, she didn't look. She's seen past who I was. Does that make sense? She's seen way ahead. And if you met me when she met me, you'd be like, fuck. You know what I mean? Fuck. So she's seen what I am now. She's seen who I was. She's seen the real me past the mask that I had on.
Powerful.
In Cabal, right? Another thing that I'm very fascinated about, right? So this is what the Druids were saying, right? Woman is your vessel, right? Whatever she wants, the woman gets. And you have to give it to her. Okay? You have to give it to her. Because when you give it to her, she will manifest even more for you in your life, right? So if she wants something ridiculous, don't fight it. Just give it to her. And then it made me think, like, well, not everyone's got a woman, right? Like, not all the rich people have a wife. Elon Musk doesn't have a wife. And then he fucking clicked. His mum. What's his relationship with his mum like? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, behind every great man, there's a great woman. It doesn't have to be a partner. It can be a mum. It can be a grandma. But there always is. There always is. There's always, like, in fucking history, in present, in future, there's always a woman behind the greatness of every man, or besides the greatness of every man.
Wow.
The mum, the partner, is always one.
That what you just said there reminds me. I
Yeah,
look at my own
yeah,
life, and
yeah.
that hits me, especially that line. They don't just stand beside you when you're winning. They stand in front of you when you're losing.
But that's what I mean. So when the loss comes, you can tolerate it.
Oh, brother.
Because if you're alone, now this is different. This is where most people lose, because it's difficult. But when you got someone like that, Like I said, brother, it can be your mum.
Yeah.
It can be an auntie. It's like it always be in the form of a woman.
Mm.
You know, if you look again, you go into religion, you go into everything. Jesus, he had Mary Magdalene that no one, funny enough, speaks about. Why? But that was his vessel. And yet, if when you start looking through other scriptures, he actually talks about that being his vessel. Women can, bro, women bring, they can manifest shit for you. And for as long as XXX accounts teaches us how to disrespect women, you're going against the one thing that could change your life. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So if you have daughters, women, mothers, start with that if you want your life to change.
Where are you now, cuz, in this next chapter of yours? Are you in a growth phase? Are you in
Brother,
a
it's funny again. Like obviously, like me being me, I've looked into other things. This year, Chinese zodiac was what, year of the snake. For someone like me, it's been a, not just for me, for many people, the year of the snake is about rebirth. It's about like shedding a lot of bullshit. It's about tough times. It's about financial difficulties, a lot of tests. And I think I can speak for everyone when I'm saying this. And maybe again, it's a coincidence. This guy's nuts. Yeah, I fucking know I'm nuts. But when you really look into it, that's what the year of the snake represents. And I think I speak for everyone when I'm saying like, bro, there's a lot gone this year, but like not in a net. You can look at the bad perspective, but I've grown this year alone more than I've grown in my whole 37 years of life. Right. So this is what the year snake is about. It comes with a lot of challenges, but it comes with change and growth, personal growth. The good thing is that we're stepping into the year of the horse. All right. Now this means from 29th of January. Listen, I'm not doing the horoscopes here. All right. I'm just like, I like numerology. I find this shit fascinating. Right. And excuse me. And what they're saying, the year of the horse is about movement. It's about growth. It's about, you're going to step into like opportunities. It's what is this? It's a horse, so everything that you think a horse represents, that's the year we're going into, so expect your life to change dramatically if you have done the work in the year of the snake. Otherwise, expect to live the life you currently have been living, like, so expect the cycle to keep repeating itself until you decide to step into taking action. One good thing, actually, I'm gonna tell you: breath work, brother. Have you done like? But like, brother, I've sat there and I've turned into an alien. Like I went so fast. I was like, do you remember Independence Day? The fucking alien in the spaceship with all those tentacles. That was me. I was like, and I was sitting there and I was fucking levitating. I felt energy like, oh man, it's beautiful. It's if you're interested, I just get that breath work, man. Just get it done. It's an hour of just breath work until you have an hour body experience. I don't know if you've gone to that level.
Oh yeah.
Trust me, it's our body experience. I think there are different ways of doing it. Fasting is very important. I highly recommend that you do a 48-hour fast before the session if you want to have an hour body experience.
Wow.
Because there's no toxins in your body. Your body's released everything, so you're pure to go and meet your fucking maker. Put it that way.
Alex, is there anything that scares you now?
No,
No fear.
no. Another thing that I had to deal with was attachment. I was very attached with Zara, I think, because we both learned to we started living in codependency because of the challenges. Do you understand that?
Mm.
And when you're codependent to someone, that means you're fucked by yourself. You can't live by yourself. So we had through pain, we have experienced the law of detachment, right? So I've detached myself. It just says that nothing belongs to me.
Mm.
Everything belongs to God. And if he gives, he can take. But you need to be prepared for that. And the only way to be prepared for that is by detach yourself, by surrender to it. And when you surrender to it, you see that love shouldn't hurt, bro. If love hurts, if you feel pain when you, because like sometimes I love so like, like my son is like, he's so unconditional and that. And it's like, he was hurting. And I was like, he shouldn't hurt because he was hurting because my fear of losing it. Do you understand that? That's the fucking wild thing about it. That's why love hurts sometimes, because it's your fear of losing. So you need to detach yourself. And you're like, well, how do you detach? You detach in the sense that nothing and no one belongs to me. They're not mine. They're mine to experience, right? But not mine. And it hurts. It hurts because you feel like, well, what? But like, so you have to experience the pain before you experience the gratitude. Then after that pain, the gratitude of detachment comes, and you're like, thank you for allowing me to experience this. Thank you for allowing me to experience love. Thank you for allowing me to experience this little man. Thank you for allowing, do you know what I mean? But I know they're not mine forever.
Oh, brother.
What is it? Memento mori. Remember that you have to die.
That is so beautiful. And that's a recent realization for me, that idea of detachment. Mine was on my brother, my little brother. I had so much attachment because
Protection.
I'm also the older brother, but also kind of like his dad. So
Protector.
sort of like,
Yeah.
the son figure. And I would constantly, when he would do something good or when he'd do something bad, especially when he do something bad, come on. And then it was
Like,
affecting me. And having some space here, learning that actually he's not mine. He's
it
him.
hurts, bro.
Fuck,
Like,
bro.
it
Like,
hurts. And you're like, oh. But then, like I said, when you can accept that, it feels even more amazing because you can love unconditionally. And it's, again, you're just grateful for the experience. It's like, I love you unconditionally. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this experience. May it forever last. But the truth is, one day you have to die, bro.
yeah, bro.
Like, we all have to. But what if you don't? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
Nah,
anymore, man.
I'm looking forward just to giving him a hug, really.
Yeah.
Alex,
I
for you,
think
bro, if you had to go to your younger self, could be any age, that lowest point potentially, what would you want to say to that, Alex?
I've done it.
Yeah.
Great question. I've already had to do this. I was a lonely child, and I moved countries. And what I'd done, I had to create an identity to protect myself, right? Because I left from Romania, I moved to the UK. I didn't speak any English. I mean, I was nervous, bro. I was a young lad. I was like, I'm in a completely different place. And probably a lot of people don't speak about this, but I've had to build like a new identity to protect myself. So I had to toughen myself up in order to intimidate people so I can protect myself. Do you understand that? Because, and not because I don't want to say like that. My dad didn't know, my mom didn't know. They just did what they knew best up until their limit, what they knew. Do you know what I mean? So like, I had to do this myself. I didn't have the guidance. Hence why I had to experience this shit again. So now I can pass it on. I'm like, this is what you do. I got you. It's cool. I've been through this. I know what to do. This is what I recommend. Anyway, and I built this like identity where I was intimidating people. So like, I protect myself. Do you know what I mean? Because I had no one to protect me, bro. I felt alone. So I was like, oh, I'll do this. And I'm tough. I'm this. I'm angry. So like, I've operated from hate, bro, instead of love. And I've done this quantum reprogramming where I went back into my childhood, and I went back all the way to the moment where that first happened, where the situation happened, where I felt defenseless. And it went back all the way to when I was in Romania, and me and my friend, we were walking to the swimming pool, and two Roma gypsies, if you know what they are, they came over, and they were older, and me and my friend were only young, we're like 10, probably 11, and they were like, oh, can you give me your shoes just so I can try them on or something? I knew like they were trying to steal our fucking shoes. And my friend started crying, he ran away, and I just got left. And I just remembered the situation. And he kept going on. And thankfully, someone ran past us at the time. They were just jogging because it was around the stadium. And I was like, quick, help me, please. I felt defenseless. And because of that moment, I felt defenseless. I've kind of realized very quickly that fuck, bro, like I'm alone. Like, do you get it? Like I'm alone. Like I have to do this alone. And when I done the subconscious reprogramming, I had to go down all the way back to that moment. And what I did in that moment, bro, I couldn't like it was fucking made me cry. Tears came down my face. I put myself in a costume, right? I could see the costume that I was in. Like this was like I was in a deep hypnosis meditation. And I basically, at that moment when that happened, I ran home scared, obviously. That guy helped me, bless him. And what I did in that moment, I put myself in a costume. And the costume, the only way to explain it in the meditation, it was like a full bodysuit costume, like almost like a gimp suit, but with spikes on. That was my defense mechanism. That was my identity. And inside of the costume, I had to rip it off me. Bro, it was like this bundle of joy, which was me. It was my inner child. It wasn't me. It was my inner child that I've basically put in that suit. And that took away from me, took my joy away. Do you understand that? So this is how deep you have to go. And it was so painful because like I could see him and I was like, bro, I was like, I'm so sorry, man. I put you in this costume. I've hid you away and like I've let him out and I remember you look like a little fucking ball of flame. Like he's just bare happy that he's just out there. Do you know what I mean? So that's just one of them. Do you all understand how many past trauma experiences you've been through as a child that you're not even aware of from past experiences that you've brought to you in your adulthood life? So these are the things that Zara's very good with, by the way, because like she does them all for me. She knows exactly where to hit. She's like, right, sit down. We need to go through this. And it's like, and she's fucking amazing. She's like, she's had her mentors, she's done subconscious reprogramming, quantum shift. She's done all of this. And the mentors that she's speaking to, she already knows, but she's like, it's almost like this is her confidence, bless her, where she was like, just like everyone else question is like, am I fucking like, is this real? Like, do you know what I mean? So she had to get it from other people. It's like, I already know this. I just wanted to make sure that I'm not fucking going nuts. Excuse me. And, but these are things that by working without doing that shadow work is called or whatever, by doing this type of work, it was able to allow me to be joyful again, so I can bring that inner child in me. And there's so many other ones. It was like, I was so angry, bro. You haven't met me up to like probably like a year before. I used to get this anger, right? I don't know if anyone else has experienced this. If you're listening to this, there was an anger. When I got angry, it was hurting my heart, bro. It was going around my heart and it was just squeezing so tight. And because of that anger, it was becoming pain and then it was becoming hate. Again, I went back. I was like, let's go back into the timeline. Let's see what the fuck, what this is, right? Because it's not okay to be this angry. Like, and he wouldn't go away. It was like squeezing my heart. Bro, and he went down. I kid you not. I went back and again, I was young. I was in Romania again. And I was in school and had a girlfriend. And I fucking loved her. I was like, I was a young kid. I was like, wow, like I fucking liked her so much, bro. I was out with her for like a week. And then she broke up with me. And I was like, what? Like everything was going great. Like, but like, do you know what I mean? Because again, I didn't have the fucking guidance, bro. Do you get it?
The tools.
I didn't have the tools, the guidance. And because unfortunately my parents weren't there, I've already built my identity. I was already in the suit. So I was protecting myself. I'm not telling anyone. So I was dealing with this myself. I wasn't open because my parents didn't give me the platform to be open on.
Wow.
So I blocked myself and I was in this suit. And this girl broke up with me and fucking broke my heart. And I'm like, why? So I was dealing with it. I wrote a letter and then I found out she got with one, but bear in mind with kids, innit? Like if this happened today, I'm like, what the fuck, bro, you mad? But like back then, because I was a kid, I didn't know how to deal with this. And she got with my friend and he was a good friend of mine. And I'm like, oh, bro, I went home. I kid you not. I remember I ripped the letter up. I fucking summoned the only way I could explain it to you, I summoned the fucking demon or something. I was screaming this pain. I was like, because it was an emotion I didn't know how to deal with. And it was so fucking painful and so real that I called in. I don't know what I called in. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But that the anger that I was feeling took me back to that moment, meaning that that's what I've created and I've brought into my body, this anger. So I went back, I forgave that part of me. Again, I didn't know. I hugged him, whatever. And I've released that anger. It was like just a dark fucking force that I've carried with me into my adulthood. Zach, I swear to you now, I can't remember the last time I felt that. It's been like, it's been, I don't know, months. Like it hasn't come back because I've made peace with it. I released it. It's like, it wasn't like I need to get rid of you. Like I made peace with it. I was like, I don't need it. It came, I called it in to protect me. Do you understand that?
Yeah, brother.
So I didn't call it in to like do shit with it. I called it in to protect me. All he was doing, he was protecting me. So I was like, I'm fucking good now. Like I'm great. Like I don't need you anymore. Not in a bad way. Like I release you, go back to where the fuck you fucking come
Yeah,
from,
bro.
because you're gonna give me a heart attack. That's
Yeah.
how much it was hurting. Do you understand what I mean?
Mm.
And it was like, it was just getting worse and worse. And I was sitting there, I was like, and I'm hyperventilating. It's like, and when you're in that state, you start making decisions, bad decisions. But yeah, man, it's like I said, since I've made peace with it and like I released it, I haven't had that. So again, guys, if you experiencing these emotions that don't make sense to you, like there are people out there that can help you. Zara, for example, look her up. But they can help you release these emotions and make peace with them so you can fucking live a good life, because they're holding you back. Just mark my words. Like no one should be that angry. No one should have emotions control their actions,
Mm.
you know? And I'll say 99.9% these emotions come from past traumas in your life, as in your childhood, especially.
I can't recommend inner child work enough for a lot of people, particularly lads, because you know that when I tell some of my bros, they're like, "What the heck?" Like, and I'm like, "Bro,
Yeah,
you gotta
I
give it, you
know.
gotta give it a try, bro. You gotta try, and you gotta
Fucking
do it
anything.
with intention. You know, do it properly."
Anything.
Alex, my final question, brother: when when your kids grow up, and for whatever reason they decide to listen or watch this conversation, what is the one thing you'd want them to take away from their father's story?
I've done my best. That I knew. I've been through it all. Literally, I've got so much. But I guess if you guys get to watch this, I'm proud of what you should have become by now. So if I'm not here, then I'm certain that I've left behind strong men and smart women.
Alex Moisii, ladies and gentlemen,
It's been a pleasure.
my brother. We have a closing tradition on this
Yeah,
podcast.
again, we'll go again.
No, we got a closing tradition where the previous guest asks the next guest a question, not knowing who he or she is.
Okay.
So the question for you today, my bro, is if you had to be another person, who would you be and why? You can't choose yourself.
I would love to be Jesus. I swear to you, I would love to experience even 24 hours of how he could love everything so unconditionally. I'd love to just experience that.
This is the final episode of 2025, the year of the snake.
Really? Fucking
A,
hell,
a
with
snake
a
year.
bang.
A snake year for you. Definitely a snake year for me, bro. Going into 2026 next year, the year of the horse, as you mentioned. I feel like a year of hopefully reaping some or getting some fruits from the labor of the snake year. That's what I'm envisioning. How do you want to play out your 2026? How would you want the people to think about going into the year of the horse, going into their 2026?
I think, rather, I hope with all my heart that all the challenges that have come up for you this year, you've dealt with them. Because what's coming for you in 2026, the systems are dying. The old systems, the old world is slowly dying, right? The education system, the financial systems, everything's going to shit. And if you have taken a moment to listen to everything that's going on around you, your tests, your challenges, everything that you've been through this year, and you've taken action, you were aware, then you are going to be so grateful for what's coming. Only if you've done the work. If you've ignored it and chosen to ignore it, you're going to have to repeat this cycle until you take action.
Where can the people find you, my brother?
The name is quite like there, like Alex Moisii, you know, I think I'm the first thing that comes up on Google. Just look for my face. It'll show up somewhere next year. I'd love to go to New Zealand, I'll be honest with you. So it's funny enough because Zara kept saying, we need to go to New Zealand. We need to go to New Zealand. You know, I'm like, I like Bali because I'm used to it. And then I met you, and this was literally like a day later. Is that she can fucking manifest anything? And I'm like, at the same time, I told you, I'm now learning that she gets whatever she fucking wants. I don't even care anymore. I'm like, we go broke to get whatever you want, cool, because I know it comes back double. That's the way I see it now. And then you come up, and I was like, guess what? Man, this guy from fucking New Zealand. He's a really nice guy. I think I want to go to New Zealand now. She's like, ha ha, anyway. So it's brilliant. But yeah, man, you wanna find me, Crest Estates. I'm gonna give you a link, like I said, for anyone that wants to do, because I think this is gonna be a most successful podcast to date. I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh. No disrespect to everyone else, but like I said, I'm blessing this personally. So yeah, if you guys want to see me, I'm gonna add some links if you don't mind. Yeah, man. Look forward to meeting you guys there.
Appreciate you, my brother.
A pleasure.
Thank you, my brother. All right, team. That concludes another episode of The Martin Show. That concludes 2025. Thank you to everyone who has rided with me this year. We're going to be back on the first week of 2026 with the biggest lessons from this year, particularly this Bali series, this Bali experience. We will drop Alex's details, Crest Estates below, and you know we're coming in for the year of the horse. Go show some freaking mana. Go show who you are. Aroha. Thank you very much. Kia ora.